We are Maddie and Fern. Our diegetic prototype is called the Symbiotics Project. This project is a culmination of our research and analysis of J.G. Ballard's novel, The Drowned World. This book depicts a post-apocalyptic future in which global warming has caused the majority of the Earth to become uninhabitable. Humanity's efforts were split between those who wanted to reclaim authority as an apex organism and those who succumbed to the Triassic era effects.
Structuring relationships through actor network diagrams, such as the situated apparatus that you are viewing now, allowed us to gauge a better understanding of the social, political, and individual ramifications that took place due to both internal and external forces, but ultimately came down to an individual choice. The Symbiotics Project looks at these choices and suggests an opportunity to design a solution that does not aim to offer utopia or dystopia, but rather presents a middle ground where these actor networks can coexist through the Symbiotics Project's qualities and attributes. Beginning with the vessels as a starting point, we distinguished the qualities and attributes that we wanted to incorporate in their design, development, and then structure relationships between the Triassic era New World and the humans.
Staying with the trouble requires making oddkin. That is, we require each other in unexpected collaborations and combinations, in hot compost piles. This quote by Donna Haraway explains that sympoiesis, or making with, rather than autopoiesis, or self-making, proves more conducive to the kind of thinking that will provide a means to building a more livable future. Developing a design that would stay with the trouble offers more thought-provoking design initiatives to explore, which border the realm of science fiction and reality, giving way to a more speculative approach.
Human ambition and acceptance are what led to the culmination of the Symbiotics Project. Experimentation of biotechnical augmentations, artificial intelligent machines, and the will to live provoked the development of three vessels called SP 1.0, 1.1, and 1.2. These vessels encompass human shelter from external forces, which you can see in this section. They also house 3D printers and robotic sample collectors that store specimen and data, research them, and crossbreed old and newly mutated organisms in an effort to produce a new building material, while simultaneously remapping new geographies.
We wanted to prompt the question to ourselves: what can AI technology and these biocomposite architectures offer? We believe they produce foundations for growth through machine learning, unimaginable bespoke forms generated regardless of the user, and scalability and machine capabilities inform production. Here you can see a few precedent images of various cyanobacteria and algae types that have had a multitude of beneficial qualities, such as their ability to intake CO2 and output oxygen. They stand as an example of how these new biocomposite forms can integrate these microorganisms into the structure and practice architecture as a living organism. The vessels were initially developed with an itinerary of 3 goals. Within Stage 1, the vessels will voyage around the world while it works in turn with humans to find a suitable site to anchor to. Throughout this voyage, the vessels incorporate neural networks which allow them to travel with precise control over semantic segmentation, object detection, and depth estimations, as you can see in this video. As it is traveling, autonomous algorithms create representations of the world and collectively store this information in the form of maps. These examples demonstrate the vessel's path of travel via waterways. In addition, each vessel utilizes its robotic sample collectors to gather data on new mutated species. These 3 vessels work concurrently to share this information with one another, as you can see in our diagrammatic data transfer map. The diagram that you are viewing right now is a rendition of our algorithm at work and the machine learning. We are questioning a variety of things, such as the simulation material performance and the nature of the space produced and how it impacts humans as well as the environment. Programming this algorithm and treating the vessel as a machine that utilizes biomimicry suggests ambiguous forms that explore sense and response in relation to nature and are made of a conglomerate of materials. For example, the foundation of this material could be fabricated from dirt, silt, old concrete and wood from building ruins, animal feces, old and new mutated microorganisms, and so on. This animation demonstrates the vessel's 3D printing techniques as it learns from a wasp nest.
Stage 2 includes anchoring to site, where the SP 1.0 vessel will undergo a process of transformation as it begins to 3D print new infrastructure for humankind. Crossbreeding new and old specimens will create a new organism that becomes a part of the building material in an effort to seamlessly integrate humanity with the new world. This video demonstrates how the vessel has anchored to the site and is printing this new infrastructure around the existing landscape. Rather than eradicating and overtaking the newly mutated flora and fauna, the 3D printing robots will work around and with them, taking on similar qualities and behaviors to blend with the existing primitive environment. This image shows how the vessel mapping the site via LiDAR scanning and determining how it will print the newly infrastructure in and against the building ruins. Within this stage, we are looking at developing experimental habitat systems and networks. It begins the process of creating a new world where biology, intelligent machines, and systems will begin to productively coexist and co-evolve. Stage 3 will occur hand in hand with Stage 2, where the intermingling of humans and new world will reach a point of symbiotic harmony. Humans will be able to safely reintegrate into the world and reestablish a new community where they can grow and thrive alongside the new world. This stage is also when one can speculate on what symbiosis means. When the landscape gets hybridized with responsive technologies, they will have the capacity to better process and respond to the variables and multi-scale inputs from their environment. Throughout the time of the machine learning, there is potential for these machines to redefine the term, veering off the initial path. For instance, in addition to developing human habitats, the vessels may look towards developing habitats for the fauna, as you can see in the cave-like structure in this rendering. It may also look at creating more structural building methods.
Ultimately, this project speculates on what AI technology and biocomposite 3D printing can offer for the future of the practice. It raises questions about sustainability, alternative building methods, social and political implications, and where the architectural profession could start heading as global warming continues.